buy new armor any time in between then.
That's true, and of course the armourers at Battle of the Nations are all approved. So any armour that they make or that you buy at the tournament will be approved, provided just now. There are some second-hand dealers there, but you've got to be very careful that just in case, if it's an older armour, it might not be fit for use at Battle of the Nations. However, we do go for Russia 2 against Ukraine here. Sharp movement.
One Ukrainian getting stuck in the middle there. Very smart to reposition himself.
One Ukrainian wasting far too much time in the middle and not going for the runs, and then it's the Russian who's gone down. And he is down there. Advantage for the Ukrainians. Dashing out, slams into the list there, but it's countered very well by that strong Russian. Massive blows down there from the Ukrainians. There's a big punishment being dealt out to these Russians here, trying to deflect those shots.
Oh,
that's a massive takedown.
We now have 5 versus 3.
Oh, stunning work there from Ukrainians, who now have a big advantage. However, I've seen last year, if you remember, that the Russians did come back and win it when they had a 5-3 advantage.
Another Russian has gone down off screen. We now have 2.
So it is 5 against 2. It's only a matter of time now for this strong Ukrainian team.
Correction, 4 against 2.
4 against 2.
Might still come round. One Ukrainian nearly taken out by a Russian from behind, but he survived the shove.
They've got to be careful in the corner there because there are some grounded fighters.
Oh, the intensity.
Big blows there, takes down the Russian, and as I said, Ukraine win that round.
Fantastic work by that two-handed polearm user from Ukraine.
Yeah, it's really raining shots down on the Russian there. Not much they could do with that, and you saw how hard the Russian went. Support 2, however. And we see round 2. Now the Russians have got it all to do. So we see an early run there from the Russians, and they go smacking into the Ukrainian now. Great movement there from the Russian, however, being grabbed by the Ukrainian fighter, takes some shots to the face and the side. You've got once again that Polish one, not quite sure where to attack, but he can't spend too much time choosing his opponent. I think he's slowed down quite a lot. However, he's seen that there's a lot of skirmishes against the list, so nearly to a takedown there.
That Polish polearm user, he needs to get in there. He needs that, and he does. He chooses the target.
Great smacks there. However, he's taking a risk himself, very nearly taken down there.
Every single one of these fighters at their prime. Lots of repositioning here. We've got to make sure that no one is left unguarded. Some great kicks to the back of the leg.
Very athletic there.
The Ukrainians letting some of their fighters
that's a fighter down already for Ukraine.
And a Russian with him.
That's one versus one there.
Still equal numbers here.
So both teams have lost one fighter.
We can see in this corner being very tough. One of the Ukrainians just stuck there. Big Ukrainian as well, though.
You can see the dust fly there.
You can definitely see it getting hot in here. The marshals making sure that the fighters get out of the way.
Big smash into the face of the Russian there. However, there's still a loose Ukrainian. I'm not sure he's being used very well. He seems to be very, very slow.
He's being hesitant. He needs to just start hammering down on.
But he's being, you can see, he's being watched by the Russian on the right there.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe he needs to.
Big smashes there.
He needs to just keep him checked.
But he's gone. They're all hemmed into the corner, making it very difficult for the Ukrainians to break them away.
He needs to go crazy.
Great shots there, however.
There's been marshals have intervened. There seems to be some sort of issue with maybe armor, or maybe a leg of the Ukrainian.
So perhaps something has come loose, but the action has stopped, and it might be a Skinnerd.
Might be actually a Russian leg. A big piece of armor has fallen off.
Okay, so it appears to be, therefore, the Ukrainian who's taken out. Very disappointed there. This now also a big advantage
to the Russians.
Yeah, who now have 4 fighters against 2.
Against 3. You still have that polearm user. He's off the screen at the moment. He needs to start doing something very quickly. Trying to take down these fighters, or at least swinging.
Yeah.
He needs to possibly get himself against that list, but he might do better outside.
Yeah. Smart work there from the Russian.
Ukrainian taking it hard, but maybe that Ukrainian should be disengaging now. Leaving.
Smacks coming to the face.
He has. He's trying his best to take down a fighter. Very smart strikes.
The crowd really getting into this.
That spare runner is doing some heavy hits on the Russian, but he needs to readjust. Unfortunately, Ukrainian taken down.
Big blows to the head of the Ukrainian there.
Now we have 4 versus 2.
Wearing him down. But the Russian behind him, careful not to strike too soon because there is movement. He doesn't want to hit his own fighter.
He's lost his weapon. Unfortunately, he cannot attack and he cannot do anything.
That's right.
He seems to be the only
that is
one
given
left.
to the Russians. Big comeback there.
Big comeback indeed. A very successful win is going to leave them struggling in that third round to really come back until that armor failure.
That's right, yeah. It was very unfortunate there, but these things can and do happen, as you've seen. So now we go into the third and final round of Russia 3 versus Ukraine 2.
Some fast movements, but a bit of confusion in the center of the list. One Ukrainian
big smash there coming down on the Russian there.
And the Ukrainian is already down off screen.
And you can see once again advantage for the Russians. They're going to need to work very hard. You can see Russian has lost his weapon there, but it's nobody taken down. A double takedown happens there. Ukrainian and Russian losing fighters.
Russian getting back to the edge of the list and getting a spare weapon. Now another Russian and Ukrainian down. We now have a 3-2 fight here. One of the Ukrainians needs to do something quickly. I believe that it'll be the polearm user from Ukraine, the giant over in the other corner.
Yeah, and that's another Ukrainian taken down.
That's a 3 versus 1 round. It means that Russia
And that is over, so Russia advance. Well, big victory there. Having lost the first round, Ukrainians will be very disappointed with that. But that's a great victory for Russia.